All right, guys, welcome back to the channel where I sit with you every single week and we stack Bitcoin together. All right, guys, let's get right into it. We've started the month of May, and usually, guys, what I do when we start a new month is I rebudget my entire portfolio and I kind of figure out where I want to allocate money towards. This month, guys, I'm not going to make any changes. All right, nothing's changed in my life. I still have the same amount of rent, phone, car, etc. All those costs remain exactly the same. So I'm not going to change anything about my sheet from April to May. That leaves me with a leftover monthly cash flow of $828 for May to invest into whatever it is that I want to, right? So this 800 I'm going to invest into Bitcoin, right? That's the point of this channel, is I'm trying to stack as much Bitcoin as I can based off of my leftover monthly cash flow, guys. And that's something that I want to make really clear. If you're following along with this channel, the number one thing that I'd want anyone to take from this is make sure that you're budgeting for your lifestyle, right? Make sure you're budgeting for your life. Don't just go nuts into Bitcoin and just start throwing cash at it and you haven't calculated how much you can actually invest into it, right? Make sure that you're calculating your income, right, which I have here, versus your expenses, your spending, your groceries, your going out, any debt payments that you have, and any other investments that you're doing, right? You'll see that here. I have all of that accounted for before I consider any leftover monthly cash flow, right? That I'm willing to invest into a volatile asset like Bitcoin. All right. Again, this is a Bitcoin channel. I do believe that Bitcoin is going to go up. The probability of Bitcoin going up is much higher than Bitcoin going to zero at this point, in my opinion, right? Do I know that for a fact? Absolutely not. Nobody does. And if you watch any channel and they tell you, I know for a fact that Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million or whatever, they're full of shit. They don't know anything. They know as much as you know about what's going to happen tomorrow. Okay? So don't let anybody tell you some dumb shit like that. It's just not true. Okay? So make sure that whenever it is that you're allocating towards Bitcoin, you know exactly how much leftover monthly cash flow that you have based on your actual life expenses. Okay, that's the number one thing I'd want anybody to take from this, is you're doing your monthly budget and you're making sure that you're updating it and then figuring out how much you're willing to invest into any asset, not just Bitcoin, but into anything. All right. So with that being said, this is my month for May. This is how much I'm willing to invest into Bitcoin. And again, the point of this channel, guys, is more than anything is we're building out a community of stacking together, right? Getting involved in Bitcoin, it is a very volatile asset. It's difficult to stay in and not feel at any point too high or too low, right? And the whole point is let's try to stack together and not get into those highs and lows of Bitcoin. Just continue to be consistent, continue to be disciplined, and not get lost in the sauce. All right. So with that being said, I've been stacking here since May 18th. We have stacked 0.15, a little bit more than 0.15 Bitcoin since then, which is a nice target, a nice goal. We hit actually our first target, which was 0.1. The point of the channel is trying to get to 1 Bitcoin. That's going to be hit by little targets as we go, right? We're going to start with 0.1, which we hit. Now the next goal is 0.2, and we are getting there already at 0.15. All right. So now I want to jump into the accumulation log and show you guys where I'm at here. And we'll kind of go and break this down, and I'll show you how much I've actually invested up until this point, since we're getting to that year mark, how much I've made or lost, right? Again, I'm going to be super transparent with you guys on this, and then we can kind of analyze that and figure out how we're going to go forward. Weighted average as of today is $97,494.63. That's my weighted Bitcoin price. Today's live Bitcoin price is 81,303. And again, guys, this is live on the sheet. So if I refresh here, you'll see this price get updated, which is a really cool feature about this sheet. And if anybody wants this sheet, it is absolutely free in the description. All you got to do is click the link, put your email and you'll get this sheet right away. I don't send any emails. I don't spam anybody. It's literally just so you guys can get the sheet. All right, I'm not gonna bug you or put anything in your inbox. All right, let's refresh this just so we can see the latest Bitcoin price, and it's at 81,247. So now that we have that updated, let's go ahead and put in our buys for the last 3 weeks. So what I'm going to do here, guys, I'm literally just going to highlight this last row. I'm going to pull this down, 1, 2, and 3. All right, now we're going to go ahead and plug in the last 3 buys, which I had automated buys via River at $200. So there are no exchange fees. Again, if you're automating the buys on River or Strike, there are no exchange fees after the first automated buy, right? So if you see here on March 8th, I had set the automated buy. They charged me the exchange fee, and then since then they haven't, because I have not changed my automated buys. All right, so that's a really cool feature about the exchange. So 426. I bought Bitcoin at 200 for 78,071.63. Okay. And then my next buy was on May 3rd. Again, 200 at 78,846.63. And the last one was May 10th, again at 200 at 81, I think that says 472.45. All right. So those are the 3 Bitcoin buys that I've put in since the last video on April 19th. What you guys will see here, if you scroll up after you put in your buys, you'll notice what I've got to do here is in the actual invested amount, I've got to slide this to the latest. So I had it at 59. It's going to be at 62 now. And so this is my new weighted average of 96,000. So it went down about $1,000 maybe, which is good. That's what we want. We want to try to knock down the weighted average as much as we can. We have it below 100,000, which is a really good thing. I do think that Bitcoin over the long term it's going to be once it gets past that 100,000 again, I think it's going to be difficult for it to go under it again, because it was such a ceiling for Bitcoin for a while. So with that being said, we have a weighted average of 96. Today's average live price is 81,000. Let's see how much we've invested so far in Bitcoin. I've invested a shit ton since we've started this channel. It's been a year. And in the year, I have invested, let's just highlight this. Yeah, over 15,000. So $15,317 has been invested in Bitcoin since I started this channel. And how much are we down? Because I know we're down since we started. And again, guys, we are in the bear market right now, and we're taking a beating. I know Bitcoin has gone up since 60,000 back up to 81, which has caused some excitement for people. I have lost $2,438.95, right? So again, guys, this is why I always say I don't get too high and I don't get too low on anything that's happening with Bitcoin. I don't worry about what I invest into it, because everything that I invest is leftover cash. It's not anything that I need to pay my bills. It's not anything that I'm dying to have tomorrow. I haven't sold any of this, right? So ultimately, I haven't really lost. These are unrealized losses. So I haven't lost anything by having this invested in Bitcoin. Now, if I sell it, at that point, I've lost $2,438, right? But as long as I hold it and Bitcoin goes back up, I will make money on this if I decide to sell it, right? That's something I want to make very clear. Ultimately, my goal is not to trade Bitcoin. That's not what we're doing here. We're holding for the long term. Ideally, I look at this in 5 years and it's well above, and I'm well in profit. And already, guys, just so you're clear on this, that's what I've already experienced with Bitcoin. I've been doing this since early 2020, investing in Bitcoin. What you're seeing here is just what I've invested while I started this channel. But if I show the last 5 years of investment and what I've done, and if that's something you guys want to look at, I'm more than happy to share that as well, and we can get into that. you'll see the gains that I've made since 2020, and they're extremely healthy, right? And that's the whole point. Is Bitcoin is, to me, not an asset that you buy and sell and trade. It just, to me, that doesn't make any sense. It's a long-term asset that you want to hold and just let it do its thing. Okay. That's the whole point of Bitcoin to me, and the whole point of this channel is to be able to help you during these times when things are really volatile. All right. At 81,000, there is a lot of excitement. People are happy about Bitcoin being up from the 60,000. To me, guys, I don't care. It doesn't make a difference to me that it's at 81,000. Doesn't make a difference to me when it was at 60,000. And I know I was saying that at the $60,000 mark, and at that point, it's like, yeah, of course you're gonna say that, Danny, right? You're gonna say that, it's normal and it's fine for Bitcoin to be at 60,000 because I was losing my ass. But ultimately, even today, at Bitcoin being up from 60,000 to 81,000, it doesn't make me more excited or less excited. I don't care, right? Ultimately, I want to see where Bitcoin's at 5 years from now, right? And how this portfolio is performing 5 years from now. That's the ultimate goal. All right, guys. So that's it for today. Again, if you like what we're doing here, if you like the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, the whole thing. It helps the channel get out there. And if you want a copy of this sheet, go ahead and just click the link below. Again, it's completely free, guys, and it's a really, really easy to use sheet, and I use it once a week on this channel, or almost once a week on this channel. So if you don't know how to use it, once you open it, you could just follow along with me and I'll teach you how it works. All right. And I did put a video early on showing exactly how to use the sheet. It was, I think, my second or third video on this channel. All right, guys. But thanks again, and I will catch you on the next one. Have a good one. Bye.